Hello and welcome back to Football Manager 2019 with Tottenham Hotspur. Since the last episode, we've only played one match in the league. It was a 2-0 victory against Huddersfield. We'll get to that in just a second. But first, let's talk about what's going to happen today. Today, we have the biggest match in our Champions League stage. It is the final match of the Champions League group stage. A victory should mean we will go through. I think a victory will mean we'll go through Group A, but there is a huge bit of confusion. Real Madrid are playing PSV. We are playing Spartak Moscow. It could go any way. Literally, at the end of this episode, we could have Spartak Moscow and PSV going through. Because if PSV and Spartak Moscow both beat Real Madrid and Tottenham, they will go first and second. So, yeah, there is countless connotations as to what can happen in this match against Spartak Moscow. And then also, we've got a huge match against Brighton and Hove Albion, who are, if I'm not mistaken, and this isn't hyperbole, they are the best team in the world. They are somehow the best team in the world because they're like 5th in the Premier League somehow in December. So the one match that we did play in between episodes was against Huddersfield at home. It was a 2-0 victory. Sounds quite good, but on the actual match day, we destroyed them. 22 shots, but only 6 on target. 4 shots and 3 on target for Huddersfield. We should have put about 6 or 7 past them. We were so much better than them, and I'm kind of annoyed we only scored twice. But enough of that. It is time to try and get through our Champions League group stages. It is in our favour, because all we need to do is better PSV's result. That's kind of all we need to do. We have to kind of assume PSV will beat Real Madrid. I know it's probably unlikely, particularly as Real Madrid are at home, but if we assume that PSV will beat Real Madrid, we need to get a victory against Spartak Moscow. If we get a win, we've confirmed it anyway. So let's try and do that, shall we? The starting lineup we are going to go for then. We are going to go with Hugo Lloris in goal, a back four of Aurier, Alderweireld, Vertonghen and Ben Davies. Ben Davies has come in for Danny Rose. Basically, Danny Rose was annoyed that he wasn't playing first team football. Gave him some games, he's happy. Now Ben Davies is annoyed that he's not playing first team football, so he's going to get some games and hopefully become happy as well. Eric Dyer and Harry Winks will be the two central midfielders. Lucas Moura, Christian Eriksen, Dele Alli and Harry Kane will be our front four. Lucas Moura, he can play 75 minutes, so he will probably be coming off at some point. For maybe Moussa Sissoko, who did play against Huddersfield and obviously did score a goal. Eriksen needs to have a rest, but I really cannot risk him for this game. Or not rest him for this game, sorry. He will probably miss the Brighton game. All we need to do then is just better the result of PSV. That is all we need to do, and it should be fairly simple because they are playing Real Madrid. But we have struggled in the past against Spartak Moscow. We drew 0-0 in the first match with them. We obviously lost to PSV. Harry Kane's in on goal within 15 seconds. Stands perfectly still after messing up his cross. Aurier with a throw on for us. Eriksen doesn't get the ball. Aurier crosses in. Rebrov claims the ball. Not former Tottenham striker Sergei Rebrov, I might add. Kicks over the halfway line. Vertonghen heads forward. Dyer a little bit further forward finds Eriksen. Lucas Moura now on the right-hand side. He's got Aurier behind him. Doesn't need him. Crosses in. Dele Alli's there. He has hit the post and it has gone off for a goal kick. Ben Davies now with a free kick. 17.5 minutes on the clock. Winks back to Davies to Dele Alli. Gets tackled, but Ben Davies is going to get the ball. Real Madrid have taken the lead against PSV. That is good news for us because it's less pressure. Vertonghen to Winks to Eriksen. He's got Harry Kane in front. Gets tackled, and now Spartak Moscow can possibly break free. They find Pedro on that left-hand side. Long ball upfield to Adriano. He's one-on-one with the keeper. Forces a save out of Lloris, and Vertonghen manages to get the ball clear. That was very lucky. Davies with a throw, finds Dele Alli, back to Davies. Where is he going to go? Finds Winks, goes for goal. No, he doesn't. He crosses it in for Harry Kane, who puts it into the back of the net, off the top of his head. His 16th goal of the season. We are 1-0 up at home against Spartak Moscow, and it's looking like we are qualifying for the first knockout round of the Champions League. Harry Winks and Harry Kane play really well together, and I don't know how or why, because I'll admit, I don't know a huge amount about Harry Winks. He's really good on this game. It's just he's quite injury prone. Half time, we are 1-0 up and Lucas Moura has managed to convince me that he shouldn't be playing the second half. That was a wonderful team talk. Jesus Perez. Moura's on a 6.5. We're going to bring on Sissoko. Sissoko isn't an inside forward, but he seems to do really well as an inside forward, so we'll just keep him with it. Son Heung-min might be coming on at some point for Dele Alli, depending on how well Dele Alli does. As long as we don't concede 2 goals, I'm happy with this. It was looking like at the start of this episode that literally anything could happen in our Champions League group. However, what it looks like is going to happen is it's going to be exactly the same 4 teams in the same 4 positions as it was at the start of the episode. They've had a little chance there, wasn't really paying attention. Davies can clear the ball. Jikia, maybe, possibly with the ball. Pedro gets the ball now. Fernando, we're pushing them back to the halfway line. This has all come from their corner. Tries to play it forward. Davies heads clear. Winks back to Davies. Back to Winks, across, Dyer now, to Sissoko. We've got some space, we've got some runners as well joining in. He's played it to Kane on the volley, and Rebrov can easily save that. Just beyond the hour mark, Sissoko cuts out the loose pass, plays it to Harry Kane. He has to make it 2. He does make it 2. His 17th goal of the season. Harry Kane, a player who really does annoy me, and I don't know why. If he doesn't score, he'll get a 6.3. And if he does score, he'll get like an 8 or a 9. So Harry Kane today, 2 goals for him so far. Is he going to get his second hat-trick? Hopefully, he'll get his second hat-trick. Free kick for Spartak Moscow. This match is not over yet. Pedro goes for goal. What a wonderful save that is from Hugo Lloris. It's going to be a corner for Spartak Moscow, who's stepping up to take it. Pedro, good. One of the players that I can actually say their name. Lloris easily claims the ball on the 6-yard line. 20 minutes to play. I think Christian Eriksen is done for the day, so we are taking him off. We're going to just swap you two over. So Son Heung-min is now going to be the attacking midfielder on the left. Dele Alli's moved to the middle. Do we do our final substitution? Or let's wait. Let's wait. Give Harry Kane another, 15 minutes if he can get his hat-trick, and then we'll bring on Troy Parrott for the final 5. Davies with a throw, finds Dele Alli to Son, crosses in. Harry Kane is there, doesn't get on the end of it. Winks this time goes for goal and scored another absolute screamer. Harry Winks and Harry Kane doing the job against Spartak Moscow. It's now 3-0. This is what I was saying about Harry Winks. He's amazing. Gigot with a free kick for Spartak Moscow. Ben Davies, for some reason, headed it. Didn't control it, he wasn't marked. Harry Winks, the best footballer on the planet, easily dispossesses the player. Winks gets the ball back from Ali to Son. He's only got Harry Kane up in front of him. Son tries to run it. It's gone all the way back to the goalkeeper, and Rebrov is allowed to pick that up with his hands, because that's how picking things up works. Stuart Rebrov now kicks it well over the halfway line. Alderweireld easily controls it, plays it across to his Belgian centre-back partner of Jan Vertonghen. Winks to Davies. Davies? It wasn't Davies, it was Dyer. Sissoko now to Aurea. He's got round his man. Out the back post it is Son. It is 4-0 against Spartak Moscow. We've still got about 15 minutes left to play, and we are looking like we're cruising now on this. What I'd like actually is PSV to win now. I think PSV Real Madrid is still only 1-0 to Real Madrid. If PSV can equalise, that means we'll go through top of our group. We're into the final few minutes. Wasn't paying attention. Harry Kane off. Troy Parrott is going to come on, because why not give the youngsters some time in the Champions League? Final highlight of the game then, and it's going to be a very, very good 4-0 victory. It was only 1-0 at half-time, 3 goals in the second half, mean that we are going through to the next round of the Champions League. We're going to go through in second place, I think, unless something happens within the next few seconds for PSV to possibly equalise. The full-time whistle goes here at Wembley. It is 4-0. And I'm assuming Real Madrid beat PSV. Real Madrid did beat PSV, so we do go through. I don't know when the draw is for the knockout round. Spurs meet expectations in dominant win. Of course we do. We get £2.4 million. We've qualified for the first knockout round. I will find out when the draw is for that in a minute. Harry Kane and Christian Eriksen need a bit of a rest. Well, maybe Eriksen. Actually, it's Brighton. No. I was going to say maybe Eriksen and maybe Kane. Kane might need to play in this one. We've also been given £720,000 because we've managed to get through the group stages. So we're into the quarter-final. Are we? Is it the quarter-final? It's the first knockout round. It is drawn on the 17th. So what is happening on the 17th? Right, we will see that at the end of this episode. Before then, we've got to play Brighton. We're almost at the Brighton game, but a little bit of contract news. Now, in real life, Toby Alderweireld has signed a new deal recently, which has put in a £25 million minimum fee release. I realised that, so I've offered him a new deal. I think he's getting paid a lot more money, but he's now got a £60 million minimum fee release. I think that's a good bit of business, because he might have been leaving in January. Overachieving Brighton then are our next opponents in the Premier League. 17 games in, they've won 9. I don't even think they've won that many in real life. They've won 9 games, drawn 4, and only lost 4 out of all of those games. Who have they lost to? They've lost to some of the bigger boys. Okay, Arsenal, Liverpool, Wolves and Watford not so big, obviously, but they've beaten Manchester United. That's a huge one. The 6-1 victory against Fulham as well is massive. A lot of 2-1s in there against Palace, Huddersfield, Southampton and Manchester United. A few 1-0s as well. They're doing weirdly well, and I don't know why. The starting lineup we're going to go for then, there has been some rotation in this because of match fitness problems. So, Hugo Lloris is going to be our goalkeeper still. Aurea, Alderweireld, Vertonghen and Danny Rose will be the back four. Scott McTominay and Tayshan Oakley-Booth, I think it's Tayshan Oakley-Booth, they are going to be our two central midfielders. Basically, lots and lots of fitness problems. So, Eric Dyer, Victor Wanyama, players like that, they just need a bit of a rest. Although Wanyama's fine. No, I'm going to stick with what I've gone with. If we have a quick look... So Harry Winks is tired, there you go, 85. Ben Davies on 80% as well. There's a lot of players who need a bit of a rest. So that is why McTominay and Oakley-Booth are coming in. The attacking midfielders then on the right-hand side, Lucas Moura once again. Son Heung-min is going to be the inside forward on the left. Dele Alli has shifted over to the middle. And Troy Parrott is going to get a start today because I want to give Harry Kane a bit of a rest, but he is on the bench. So is Christian Eriksen. That might be a bad thing. Let's take Eriksen off the bench. I've put Victor Wanyama on the bench. Right, that is our starting 11. After this match, we do have a little bit of a break, I think. We've got the FA Cup, or Carabao Cup, sorry, which is up against West Ham. West Ham are currently bottom of the Premier League, so they're not doing particularly well. So what I'm going to do for that match is I'm going to do a massive bit of rotation. So a lot of the big name players, your Dele Allis, people like that, won't even be on the bench, I think. First highlight of the game, and it's looking like it's going to be a Brighton goal. Florian Andun has made it 1-0 after just 5 minutes. Only his 5th goal of the season. Somehow, their main striker only has 5 goals. We're 1-0 down to Brighton. 15 minutes in, and that highlight was the only highlight so far of the game, and it's looking like the first half is just going to disappear with nothing else happening. We've had no shots on target yet. Half an hour now on the clock. We do manage to win the ball. Lucas Moura, though, facing the wrong way, plays it back to Lloris, who calmly passes it to Vertonghen. Oakley-Booth now in the middle, runs forward. His first start, I believe, particularly this season. Maybe not in real life. He might have actually played for them once before. Montoya, back to Dunk, to Pascal Gross. Anthony Knockerat now. He is probably one of the players that's doing the job for them, and Florian Andun has made it 2-0. They've had 2 shots and scored 2 goals. What is happening here? What is actually happening here? This is what Brighton are doing to every team, isn't it? They're just not doing anything and scoring every single shot they have on goal. Danny Rose to Son. Where's he going to go across to the Scottish international McTominay? Finds Serge Aurier, who's having a bit of a shocker so far. Crosses in, Son's at the back, and Son has made it 2-1. We are still in with a chance, but I would like to go in at half-time 2-2, but we've only got about a minute left to play. It is not going to be 2-2, it is 2-1, but for some reason... every shot that's been on target has gone in bar 1. We are not doing particularly well at all. I'm going to give them an angry team talk. Come on, lads. You can do it. Basically, defensively, we're doing a bit shoddily. There's a few players who are just playing a bit bad, aren't they? Maybe we need to change some things up. Oakley-Booth hasn't done a particularly good job, so Big Vic is coming on. And we're going to swap you two over because I think... yeah, there you go. You're both natural in those positions. That's all we're going to do. Troy Parrott not doing so well either. We do have Harry Kane on the bench. So maybe 60 minutes in, Harry Kane needs to come on. Chelsea have taken the lead against Cardiff, so we've dropped out of the top 4. That is not good. Parrott is coming off then for Harry Kane. We're on the hour mark. We're also going to do our final sub. Lucas Moura off for Moussa Sissoko. All of our cards have been shown. All the dice have been rolled. All those other various terminologies that we can use. Just need to score some goals now. Or not. No, nothing. We're just going to play through. Free kick for Brighton. Knockerat plays it into the 6-yard box, and it is wide from Stevens. I say 6-yard box. It was the penalty area. Final 10 minutes. We need to do something. We really cannot lose to Brighton. Of all teams, Brighton are going to beat us, and they are going to close the gap on us once again. We're going to lose. We're actually going to lose. Son with the ball crosses in. We've almost scored with the final kick of the game, but instead Brighton somehow managed to win. How have Brighton done that? Like, literally, they didn't play amazing either. We just didn't play very well. Not happy with that at all. I am far from pleased with that result. You're getting an angry team talk. Good. Well, that is a bit disappointing. What's more disappointing, obviously, Chelsea beating Cardiff, which means they now move ahead of us as well. Brighton obviously caught up with us in terms of points. Arsenal, how did Arsenal get on? They drew with Watford, so that's not too bad. Man City and Liverpool beating their local rivals Everton 5-0. Man City beating Newcastle 2-0. I think the top two starting to run away with it. A little bit like real life. Pearce faces inquest after surprising loss to Brighton. Tottenham fans were in for a surprise today when Tottenham lost 2-1 to Brighton. Blah-de-blah-de-blah. Yes, Tashan Oakley-Booth was singled out as being largely responsible. I mean, he wasn't responsible. He just didn't play too well. Maybe the rotation wasn't the best plan, but I'm trying to think of the whole season. Dropping points against Brighton might not be such a big deal at the end of the year. Maybe it could be a huge problem, though. We're going to go forward a couple more days and we're going to find out who we're going to be playing in the Champions League first knockout round. There's going to be some very difficult teams in that. I'm not sure whether, because obviously finishing second place means we're going to be playing a group winner. I haven't even looked to see who's won their group, so we're just going to go forward to the draw. Here we go then, Champions League knockout. The teams that we can possibly play against then. So we are obviously within this unseeded. Wow, Barcelona and Juventus and Inter all in the unseeded. That is good in a way, I guess. So we are likely to play Bayern. I think we can play English sides now. Man City, PSG, Shakhtar. I'd take Shakhtar. Liverpool, Lyon. I'd take Lyon as well. Real Madrid and Valencia. I'd take Shakhtar, Lyon or Valencia. Those are the three that I ideally would like to have. First name out of the hat is Barcelona will play Bayern. Napoli, Real Madrid, Juventus versus Lyon. So two other teams are still in there. Salzburg versus PSG. This is good. Inter versus Man City. It's looking like we are playing one of our ideal scenarios, or Liverpool. So Tottenham will be playing Shakhtar. That is good. I think we can get past Shakhtar. CSKA Moscow versus Liverpool. And Benfica versus Valencia. That is actually quite a good draw there, I think. So on the 13th of February, we will be playing against Shakhtar Donetsk. Let's have a quick look then at the old fixtures. Yeah, so it's all the way down here. So I've already tried to, in my head, plan out what we're going to do for the fixtures. So what we might end up doing, I was going to have West Ham, Manchester United, and then Chelsea, Man City. What we might do is Man United, Chelsea, Man City, Shakhtar now. So that's probably what we're going to do, and then maybe Liverpool, Shakhtar. Anyway, that is going to do it then for this episode. Up next, we do have West Ham in the Carabao Cup. What we're going to do then next episode, like I said, is going to be Manchester United and it is going to be Chelsea. Obviously, transfer window is going to open and close in the middle of that as well. I don't know whether there's going to be too many transfer dealings that are happening, partially because we don't have a lot of money because we've got a huge loan of about £400 million behind us to build the stadium. But yeah, we'll see. Maybe some transfers will happen. Obviously, I will keep you up to date of anything that goes on before we get to the Manchester United game. And that's going to do it then for this episode. Thank you very much for watching. Even though we did lose to Brighton, we did successfully manage to get through the Champions League group stages. If you did enjoy this episode, if you wouldn't mind leaving a like, if you want to see more, hit the subscribe button. And I'll be back next time for the Manchester United and Chelsea ? I've already forgotten. And the Man United game in the transfer window and someone else. Sure. See you next time.